From harsh choice words in interviews to claims being thrown around on Twitter, here's how Elon Musk took a nasty shot at Jeff Bezos. The CEO of Tesla recently mocked the founder of Amazon, who's competing with him in the space race.
I think there's certainly some similarities of opinion. I think both Jeff and I believe that it's important for the future to be a spacefaring civilization and ultimately be out there among the stars. And I think that's the exciting, inspiring future that I think certainly people in this room want.
Bezos, the executive chairman of the e-commerce behemoth, traditionally publishes an annual letter to shareholders that's widely scrutinized to glean insights into his management of Amazon. Despite being unprofitable for 6 years, Amazon eventually grew into a powerhouse, becoming the second company to achieve a market capitalization of $1 trillion.
Finally, you're obviously a very competitive person. You're competing with the likes of Jeff Bezos in...
Jeff who?
in rockets. You're competing with Detroit in the motor industry. You're competing with regulators when it comes to Solar City.
Making it the world's 5th largest company behind Apple, Microsoft, Saudi Aramco, and Alphabet, Google's parent company. Bezos' annual letters reveal his unconventional principles for running Amazon since its inception in 1994. Prioritize the customers, disregard concerns about competitors, shareholder profits, and short-term goals. However, Bezos later deviated from these principles and introduced a new philosophy, which he outlined in his annual letters starting in 1997 after Amazon's IPO. Business experts consider these letters a blueprint for success in a rapidly evolving technological landscape. Bezos wrote a total of 24 letters, beginning with "Bring on shareholders who align with your values" in 1997, and ending with "Company culture can be both employee-centric and customer-centric" in 2021. In his final letter, Bezos said that in Amazon's initial letter to shareholders in 1997, he expressed the company's aspirations of creating a long-lasting enterprise that would revolutionize customer service while harnessing the power of the internet. Bezos remarked that Amazon had grown from 158 to 614 employees and had amassed over 1.5 million customer accounts. He added that Amazon had recently gone public with a stock price of $1.50 per share on a split-adjusted basis, and declared that it was only the beginning. Bezos highlighted that Amazon has made considerable progress since its early days and is more dedicated than ever to providing excellent service to customers. He noted that Amazon employed 1.3 million individuals worldwide, including 500,000 new hires from the previous year. The letter concluded with Bezos urging readers to be inventive, considerate, and productive, and to resist conforming to their environment. Bezos' final words: "It remains day one," inspired a Twitter user to make a jest by summarizing all 24 of Bezos' letters. The tweet read, "Letter 1, day 1. Letter 2, okay, day 2. Letter 3, it's legit day 3 at this point." On February 9th, a user announced that they had read all 25 of Jeff Bezos' annual letters for Amazon since 1997 and shared one takeaway from each year. The user cited day 1 as the takeaway from the first letter. They claimed that until 2020, it was still day 1, and in 2021, Bezos playfully teased readers by declaring day 2. Nevertheless, Bezos eventually concluded by confirming that it's definitely day 1. To clarify, Bezos did not write a letter for 2021. He resigned from Amazon's CEO position in July of that year, with Andy Jassy taking over the reins. All the letters were written by Bezos during his tenure as CEO. But regarding Musk, he appears to have enjoyed the quip made about Bezos, and he did not shy away from rebuking his competitor. "It's legit day 3 at this point," Musk remarked. After Musk's disparaging comment, several users on the platform made derogatory remarks about Bezos, and many called for the two to just speak plainly. Another Twitter user ridiculed Bezos by jesting, "Maybe someone should try turning Bezos off and on again." Musk and Bezos are rivals in multiple domains, with the former being the world's second wealthiest person, with a net worth of $186 billion on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, while the latter has a net worth of $122 billion. In the space exploration arena, Musk's SpaceX and Bezos' Blue Origin are direct competitors. competitors. But the drama doesn't stop there. In fact, it doesn't seem like Bezos and Musk will ever be chummy. The two have been vying for the world's wealthiest person title for years, with Musk currently holding the lead ahead of Bezos. They also compete in the space sector, with Musk's SpaceX far outpacing Bezos' Blue Origin, which is perceived as more of a pet project than anything else. Still, they haven't shied away from taking shots at one another. For instance, the two firms disputed a $3 billion NASA contract last year, with Musk commenting to New York Times columnist Kara Swisher, "You cannot sue your way to the moon. Competitors taking pot shots at each other is a frequent occurrence." But it doesn't always have the intended effect. Sometimes it can backfire and result in a painful lesson. For instance, after Twitter accepted Musk's bid to take the company private, Bezos retweeted a New York Times journalist and questioned whether Musk's acquisition of Twitter would give China more leverage over what he dubbed the town square. The tweet suggested that Musk was partially under China's influence due to Tesla's business in the country, which is a reasonable observation. China's critical of Tesla's success, with the automaker constructing one of its gigafactories in Shanghai and acquiring vital components for vehicle production from the country. However, the issue is that Bezos wasn't the ideal person to make this point, as the tweet drew immediate responses pointing out China's sway over Amazon. Having seen over 9,000 responses to Bezos' tweet and found that the vast majority were similar, highlighting that Amazon's conduct in China doesn't give Bezos the moral high ground. There may be something to the sly messages. For instance, many of the products available on Amazon.com are made in China, with a country of origin label of China even on Amazon Basics branded products. After conducting a quick search for iPhone charger, nearly all the results were from Chinese manufacturers. Additionally, Amazon disabled customer reviews in China to comply with a requirement after a poor review was posted of a book written by President Xi Jinping. Reuters noted that the decision was part of Amazon's decade-long efforts to curry favor with the Chinese government and secure its business in one of the world's most extensive marketplaces. It's not uncommon for tech companies to attempt to curry favor in China, a nation that represents one of the most extensive markets for almost all of them. Apple, for instance, has purportedly complied with China's regulation that user iCloud data be held on servers managed by firms essentially controlled by the government. Perhaps sensing that he had lost his footing, Bezos added a comment to his tweet an hour and a half later, writing, "My response to this query is probably not. What is more plausible is that Tesla will face complexity in China rather than censorship on Twitter." Bezos has a point. There's a chance that if Twitter does something to displease China or refuses to do something to appease the nation, China could retaliate against Tesla. This scenario provides a useful lesson for every entrepreneur. Tweeting is easy, maybe too easy, especially when the prevailing opinion runs in a direction that benefits you. It's tempting to see your competitor getting negative attention and view it as an opportunity to intervene. The people who may perceive Musk's acquisition of Twitter as problematic are not Jeff Bezos enthusiasts. They're not actively scrolling through Twitter, anticipating his viewpoint on the subject. Instead, Bezos left himself open to criticism. Not only that, but he invited further scrutiny and condemnation not only related to Amazon, but also his other firms, including the Washington Post. Successful business people don't take jabs at their rivals just because they have the chance to do so. They acknowledge that occasionally it's not worth the risk. So, from choice words in interviews to claims being thrown around on Twitter, that's how Elon Musk took a nasty shot at Jeff Bezos.